So, Final Stand is here, but is it any good? Is it, as the name suggests, the final DLC? Hello guys and welcome, my name is ShavedApe. Thank you for joining me in this, hopefully, quick look at Battlefield 4's Final Stand DLC. Now please remember, this is my view on the DLC and therefore it may differ from yours, but that's okay, that's what makes life great. We all agreed it'd be a little bit boring. So Final Stand released for premium members as usual 2 weeks early, but this time those of us on PC with CTE access, well, we've already had an early look, and let's face it, there were 100 or 200 YouTubers that were happy to show you the maps and give you their verdicts while they were still effectively in development. It's all about the Barracuda, baby! Anyway, moving on, with the release of Final Stand we also saw yet another Phantom Assignment Easter egg hunt. This one, I'm sure by now you all know, unlocks the bow, and I was going to do a video on it, but then I remembered I don't give a flying fuck about the Phantom assignments, so I wouldn't hold your breath waiting for that one. It did get me thinking though, is it okay for the devs to ask us to pay for things like premium and then expect us to complete stupid tasks to gain content that we've already paid for? I get it, I do. I get that it adds a little bit more depth to the game. It perhaps adds a little longevity to the game. But is it fair that I must get X amount of game or kills to unlock Y gun, or that I need to play 300 hours of air superiority in order to unlock a camo? Disclaimer, I am well aware that the game is actually the claymore and that it's not in fact gay at all, nor does it imply that you are gay if you use it. You're a bit of a cunt, but you're not gay. Also, I know there is no assignment that requires you to play 300 hours of air superiority. I am an infantry player. Why do I have to fly a jet in order to unlock something, or drive a tank, etc.? There is of course the argument that says a true Battlefield player is a good all-rounder. Well, some may agree with that. You know what, I can drive a tank and I can survive in it for a while. A jet I can barely take off, that's another story. But personally, I just think we should be allowed to play the game our way. Why do devs spend so much time making the mechanics of the game allow for as many playstyles as possible, while coming up with silly ass tasks that force you to play a particular style? Let me know what you think in the comments below, guys. I really would like to hear from you on that. Okay, so what do I think of Final Stand DLC? Well, firstly, I'm fortunate enough to have played them in the CTE, so of course, come release day, well, it was all a little bit underwhelming because I'd played them. And of course, Dragon Age Inquisition and Far Cry 4 both released on the same day. And since I hadn't already played those, they took up most of my time initially. And then of course, the Battlefield started to call a little bit, and well, if I'm going to play Battlefield, I may as well play some Final Stand. But if I'm honest, that's the only reason I actually played the maps. It's nothing against the maps as such, I actually think they're quite good. They are, for the most part, everything a Battlefield map should be. They're big and cater to the air and land vehicles, and actually they have some cover for the infantry too, and even some closer quarters indoorsy type shit going on. But I just don't love them. Yeah, the snowmobiles are cool, and well, there are hover tanks, and who doesn't love pointless shit like floating tanks? I think the biggest issue I have is that problems that were highlighted already from the first CTE showing of the maps still exist in the release version. There's a hidden wall on, I believe it's Hammerhead, to some tunnels, and basically you can go in the tunnel and then you can come out again, and then you try to go back in and there's like the hidden wall. You just can't get in. Makes no sense. Why show the maps in the CTE if things like that are still going to make it into the final release? It's great that we have the CTE, of course, and some of the game's fixes, well, they're just great, and the game feels a lot better now than it has. But I've been playing mostly the CTE anyway, so for me they kind of feel normal. All in all, the maps either during the CTE or now in their quote final state unquote feel okay, but I don't know what it is about them. They just don't draw me in. I've heard people refer to them as two maps in one, and while yes, I would agree with that sort of analogy, I think the issue is that the two maps sort of feel incomplete on their own. And yeah, I know you're supposed to play them as a whole, but we don't, do we? What I mean by that is the more infantry focused areas, while sort of feeling big at times, they just don't feel like there's enough to keep the infantry guys busy. and the more open areas are perhaps just a little too open. I was on, I think it was Hammerhead, and a guy was sat just inside his spawn in a tank on top of a hill picking people off at 2 or 3 separate flags without really needing to move, except, you know, maybe to repair himself from the odd RPG, but otherwise he didn't really need to move. And with that, I think I'll hand it over to you guys. What do you think of the final stand maps? Do you like them? What do you think of Easter eggs? Should they be like the Plants vs Zombies Easter egg, for example, on Dawnbreaker? Or should they be more like the Phantom assignments where you've got to hunt them down and do all the jumping through hoops bollocks? Do you like jumping through hoops to unlock content that you've actually already paid for? Or would you prefer just to unlock them through your normal playstyle? You know, XP based if you like. Do you think? You know, there has been rumours and so on about additional DLCs. Do you think this is it? Or will we get an extra one? Should we get an extra one? Because, well, let's face it, they did fuck the game up. I don't think it's going to happen. Let me know below, guys, what you think in the comments. I look forward to hearing from you. I hope to hear from you. But for now, thank you for allowing me to take your valuable time. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't done already, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe.